you don't have a saving support, right?
Yeah, I mean, Witch Doctor's sort of in the right position. It can like heal you a bit, you know. It's Lion can hex like I mean, funnily enough, because yesterday I was talking about Bounty and Disrupt is like not a very good defensive combo. Both of these supports are better defensively than say Bounty and Disruptor, but they're definitely far from like Shadow Demon or Dazzle or anything like that. And I think your point is still valid.
5 seconds remaining.
They could run Slaughter on the safe lane. I don't think that's like completely out of the question.
Time.
They have been recently doing the MVP have been doing these drafts where they like forever ends up being, I don't know, with the Juggernaut or whatever in the aggressive lane. MP plays like safe lane Doom or Beastmaster. So it wouldn't be totally out of the question for me for him to be on the Slaughter. And actually Slaughter as a core is not something I've seen much recently. And we saw it as a support yesterday against MVP, I believe.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that was like, that jogged their memory. They were like, hey, this hero's pretty cool. We should pick it again.
Let's give it a go. Let's give it a... Oh, hello. MP Invoker and QOPA. Very nice.
Yeah.
I guess with a BKB build-up for Phantom Assassin against Enchantress, against Puck, you're going to have that leeway in the Magic community to just deal out as much damage as you can. And I was talking to Heen the other day, and QO, you know, he's one of the few players that still loves Phantom Assassin. Of course, Eternal Envy is probably the other one. There are two players, there are two competitive players that still like PA in this scene. But QO is kind of the guy that's played it the most in competitive games, I feel, at least from what I've seen, and he's kind of honed and mastered his item build specifically for PA. Because Battle Fury is such a great item on Phantom Assassin for farming and just raw damage for the gold that you spend on it. Add in the regen and stuff like that is pretty nice as well. But from what Heen told me, QO was like really kind of pissed off at PA as a hero, even though he loves it so much. It's this love-hate relationship, because he knows that to win a game and to allow his... Oh dear, a little bit of lag there. But to allow himself to fight early and be with his team and actually accomplish things, he has to go BKB first. And then he likes to go back into the Battle Fury, which is something that is the complete reverse of what we see in pubs, right? We, oh, bye-bye, bye Fnatic, see you buddies. Because in pubs we see the rushed Battle Fury, and then you go BKB. But if you go that way, you leave yourself squishy, susceptible to ganks, and oftentimes you'll lose out on a lot of the fighting potential that PA brings to you mid-game, because she is really a mid-game carry, even though she scales well with, you know, two scaling abilities, Blur and Coup de Grace. She's got an evasion and a crit built into her. Her stat gain is okay. It's like, you know, not the best strength gain. It's pretty poor, and that's one of the biggest downfalls, I think, for the Phantom Assassin, is that she doesn't have a lot of HP, and she wants to build raw damage. So having to go for like a mid-game build, which is, you know, why we see a lot of people go for kind of drums, basher, BKB, go for a lot of stats. You can fight with the Phantom Assassin by 15 minutes.
You know, Slasher did a Slasher's Way Phantom Assassin, and he said he'd tried it like hundreds of times, and he felt like you do just he said don't even buy Helm of Dom, just rush Battle Fury and like hope that it works out. He was like, it's just this kind of hero where like you don't go for the sustain, you maybe go back later for the BKB, but you just have to rush the Battle Fury. Then again, obviously Slasher, even though I respect his builds and that sort of thing, he's not playing competitive anymore, so Cure has got a very different kind of experience.
See, that's
kind of the
yeah, that's pub game mentality. Now I can get behind that. For a pub game, for sure, you go rush the Battle Fury and just hope that you don't get killed over and over again, because that's the kind of way that pub games work. And I think that's still along the lines of what QO was saying. You know, he wants to go Battle Fury in pub games. He probably would go straight Battle Fury, but because he knows that he's in a competitive game and he needs to fight with his team, he has to go for that BKB very early on. But we'll see if he's changed his mind or what he'll go for this game. As Dubu and DJ, they will trade hits. Enchantress and Witch Doctor already bashing into each other. But Febuli and MP over on the Invoker. QOPA, of course, while Forev will be standing up on the Slardar. And over on the Dire side, Net Juggernaut, 343 over on the Rubik. And mid one, let's see if we can get some Satu Ringgit Dream Coils out from this lovely little Puck. Well, who's the last one? Ohio Batrider heading down towards bottom lane. These lanes panning out so far look pretty standard.
I'm just gonna change my batteries out for 20 seconds. I'll be back now.
30 seconds.
That's illegal. You're not allowed to change your batteries in the middle of a game scan. That's very naughty. Should we punish him? Should we punish him, chat? Let's give him the broke back for not changing his batteries before. Oh, no, you're all spamming about the DDoS when Fnatic all left the game. Right, best of 5. This is game number 1. And, of course, thinking about the history of the series MVP have twice played Fnatic in a grand final for a qualifier in the past month or so. ESL 1 Manila, as well as Epicenter, as they get the bounty rune. Mid one will pick that one up as Slada gets the one at top. But Fnatic have won both of those previous qualifiers, so this is the third one where MVP is their chance to strike revenge, if they possibly can. Aggressive dual lane, Juggernaut as well as the Rubik heading down towards bottom with Enchantress over in the jungle and Febby. Going to walk into DJ there. Just look at these right-click attacks coming out with the boots on DJ as well. Febby, he's in a spot of bother actually, chased down by the Bambi, turns back to fight with a stun as well. Febby battling through this one, waiting for Dubu to come in. Well, they've got the cast as well, but DJ turns to fight the Witch Doctor, and they're right-clicking down DJ. There's another couple of clicks in here onto Febby, that's all he needs, but DJ will run himself away. And Enchantress is still alive, and causing all sorts of chaos here for the two Radiant supports, and maybe even looking to kill off Febby with the Centaur picked up. There's another Earth Spike here. But Dubu does have the cask in 2 seconds time and might be able to look for the kill back onto this Enchantress, and in fact, that's exactly what he wants. The cask is there, but the stun setup is not long range enough for Febby to get into action.
It's actually such value from DJ. All of the mana used from Witch Doctor, all of the HP used from Lion, and that means that Q has to start the lane on his own, 1 versus 2. And Enchantress is really the only hero that could do this. It's because of the insane move speed the hero has at the beginning of the game. Like, even if DJ hadn't bought boots, he would have the same move speed as the Lion with boots. So the boots are like just an extra 45 bonus move speed on what the enemy hero has there. And that gives you the ability to literally just follow them around right-clicking and
QO. Can you blink away from this? Oh no, you cannot! The spin is there, and the damage output from Fnatic more than enough to finish off the Phantom Assassin. Doesn't have the blink, still stuck on level 1. The dagger was all that was available to QO, and now keeping back down towards his bottom lane. Sata plus Centaur, the damage, the HP regen. Raw, unadulterated destruction from Fnatic on his bottom lane.
It's exactly related to the early rotation from DJ in that jungle, though, forcing the supports to... The Witch Doctor didn't have mana, the Lion had to go to base, and that's why they get that opportunity to kill. Obviously it also helps him that he finds Sata, which completely overpowered creep, which is about to die. It's gonna pay for its sins.
It gets denied.
Yes, they managed to deny it at least. What's the top matchup like? There's Slaughter versus Bats. It seems like the CS is pretty close so far. I think Bat has a bit of an edge in this matchup. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, Bat has an edge, but it's not as you'd expect. Like, I've seen this matchup a couple of times, and it's not the Batrider versus Melee lineup that we usually see. There are very few heroes that deal well against the Batrider. You know, your Slark, your Lifestealer that can directly remove the sticky napalm. But Slaughter with a sprint kind of has this ability with his Tranquils and his stick just to run away from the Batrider and get himself out of harm's way. So it's not great for Slaughter. He's going to farm himself up, you know, level 4, level 5, get himself some decent CS, but after that, he does have to be wary about the lasso and the range on the Batrider, and use that crush in a timely manner. But QO is already being pounded down on his bottom lane. He does have 10 last hits, though. Fnatic have done a decent job of shutting him down, but they haven't managed to keep net up above the Phantom Assassin in terms of this farm rate. It's something they have to be very wary of, because these aggro tri-lanes they can work out, but I guess they're getting decent levels, right? Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, it's something that's always difficult to do, is to get that farm in the aggressive tri-lane. And in this case, it's even more difficult because they had a Sata that was spamming shockwaves. They went for a kill at the tower. They have all these Enchantress creeps with auras, so the wave keeps pushing into the tower, which makes it a bit more difficult for Net to get those last hits.
Forev, 4 napalm charges up on him, and the level 1 Firefly here for Ohio. He can't really get too close though because of that crush, and then sprint away as Enchantress kills off Febby down at bottom lane. But mid one was being gone on there, and it's a cross-wect Invoker from MP, so he's going to have the Tornado EMP combination to stop these pushes coming in too thick and fast. Slaughter. Forev's sprint is about to run out, and I think he'll wait for the next one to come in. Level 3 sprint available in 2 seconds time. Maybe even look for the jump onto mid one. Start off with a Tornado, a Cold Snap, and land in a crush if they can. There's no observer ward scouting out where Forev is, but there was one that watched him go down towards this rune, so you're kind of expecting here from mid one that he'll know that the Slardar is missing. He hasn't returned to top. He's probably lurking around somewhere with, you know, an Invis, a haste, maybe even that double damage rune which he is actually holding, but in a couple of seconds he'll walk past this Dar Observer Ward and give away that he's returned to top lane, and there he is. Sprints towards Ohio, lands the crush. No, he doesn't. Cancel it out. We'll hit it now, but doesn't get any shots in with a double damage rune.
Might be something else that helps the Slaughter deal with the bats, is that you don't need to face the bat to use the crush. So the turn rate won't affect that. Like when the bat's trying to go on you, you could usually just stomp and run away. I think heroes that have to sort of turn and face the bat to use some kind of ability are going to struggle a lot more surviving the lane.
Absolutely. It's definitely a good shout. Batrider though, 26-5. Fnatic, they're out farming MVP here and they've honed their craft. Probably looking for another aggressive dive on bottom lane as this wave does shove into the tier 1. QO. There's nothing to stop him in his tracks here. There's no stun or anything, and with the Earth Spike down, mid 1 Dream Coil as the stun they wanted. Traps a couple in with a Illusory Orb across Dubu. He's dropping low, but they want to go for QO instead. MP is TPing himself in aggressively, but Dubu's already dead. MP, where's his spells? Throw a tornado, finally catches a couple of them there, and kills off the Juggernaut at long last. But Fnatic, they're still aggressively hunting and looking for these kills with another orb across. Febby, he's dropping low and he'll die as well. A double kill here from mid 1 as QO runs forward into 3-4-3, but a final telekinesis and a couple more right clicks in. The EMP launched down, but there's no mana here to really burn. And Rubik might just lose his life to another cold snap forward and an amplified damage from Forev to secure that one, but he's chasing. He wants DJ as well. Forev, I don't think you're going to catch the Phase Boots Bambi. Unless DJ stands still. Picks up a bounty rune. Stands still for a little bit and gets hit by the crush, but untouchable. This slowdown of the attack speed on Forev. Mid 1 TPs to the tier 1. Forev will retreat.
I mean, just think about Enchantress as a hero, honestly. Untouchable, which keeps it alive there. There's the Enchant, which early on sets up the kills and the pressure in the lane. And even the Nature's Attendants that allows them to dive the tower there. Just a really, really powerful hero if you want an argument why it's applicable.
Oh, the perfect chain stun. They've got him. Just need a Hex or something like that. They started off with it, I guess, and they're looking for the damage output from Forev. Oh, look at that Satyr Blast, stopping him in his tracks, and Net will escape. He must have started with a Hex and followed through with a Crush, and then landed the Earth Spike. QO obviously was not available. He'll return to the lane now and kill off the Satyr.
Yeah, in the meantime, this is Batrider just getting complete free lane. Ohio hasn't left the lane yet, and he's going to have an extremely fast Blink Dagger.
1,500 gold at 7 minutes. It's looking pretty good for him, while MP on this Invoker. 25-4. It's not all doom and gloom. He's looking okay. Mid 1 Puck, though, has got Bottle and Treads already completed.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I think it's pretty important that he's actually a Crossworks Invoker this game. Like, he might still go back later on for a Midas. Like, after the Urn, you sometimes do see it on the Crossworks Invoker. But he needs to have the spells that interact very early on, which is typically the Crossworks. Just because you can see from Fnatic's draft that their draft is one that wants to get momentum early on and get a big lead. It's not a draft that's going to sit back and farm.
Well, looking at the hero levels here, Juggernaut, he's still level 4. Net with that 1 death. It slowed him down a touch. But we've seen Fnatic do these aggressive tri lanes before, and they'll just swap him back up to the safe lane and give him, 5 minutes or so of free farm time as mid 1. Not getting caught by the tornado from MP. Net's Juggernaut, he definitely needs that level 6 sooner rather than later. At this point, it's just trying to limit how much farm QO gets.
Yeah, and that's, in terms of the last hits, like I think you were saying earlier, MVP is actually doing fine to keep up. I mean, they're behind, considering the fact that there's 4 people in Fnatic who are getting those last hits and only 3 on their side, but their 3 cores are not, that far behind something that could be reasonable at this stage in the game. So it's important that they don't sort of panic, oh, we're under pressure, they're being the aggressors, and lose focus even in the positions where they are able to just get those last hits. They're still getting all of them.
Where's mid 1 going? Back to Fountain, maybe smoke up here. Yeah, there's a Blink Dagger for your Batrider and a smoke available. This is going to be the big fight for Fnatic. The first one at the very least. Want to make sure they kill QO. He is the prime target, and with the lasso down, QO is trapped in the Dream Call as well. And mid 1, he catches 3 of them. Febby with a Lion, Witch Doctor, they're both in this Dream Call, but a good tornado back out from MP will trap him in. EMP burns through as well, and they've turned this one around. MVP take down Ohio, looking for Net now in the back with his Dream Coil. His Healing Ward is keeping him alive, while MP sprinting himself away. Dubu dodges away from the Illusory Orb, but mid 1 still aggressively on the hunt, and DJ face boots forward, looking to chase down poor little Witch Doctor. Dubu, there's no impetus here. It's a level 6 Enchantress, but no impetus, and DJ kind of walks into Forev there with a crush down. The damage output's good, but not good enough. Mid 1 blinks forward with the orb. And jaunts into the middle of MVP, but QO's back in the battle. 3-4-3, amplified damage with the crits and hits out from QO, and Forev gets himself a double kill. I'm not sure they're even done just yet. Mid one jaunts out, but Nets TP's away.
DJ not having impetus to level 6 is a mistake. We don't need to. He made a mistake. That's like wasn't paying attention when he leveled up or something. There isn't an argument for it at all. Well, what I want to point out at the start of the fight, Pac got a 3-hero Dream Coil, but the reason for that is because the Witch Doctor wanted to run closer to heal, and I think that's also the reason MVP are able to turn around that fight. You throw the Cast Guard, you have the level 2 Voodoo Restoration channeling, and sometimes it's difficult for the enemy team to recognize the value of that, because they both kind of like slow over time impacts on the fight. You're gradually healing people up, the stuns are flying around, none of it's like bursty, here's a long disable on one person, or here's a lot of damage, or here's a lot of heal. And I think that it's more difficult for players sometimes to play around those like over time impacts on the fight, but it definitely makes a huge difference there, and it's what sustains them for the reinforcements to arrive and turn things around.
Yeah, it's the small little disruptions rather than the big game-changing fights that Dubu brings to the table. Allowed QO to come back in and get those crits out. With the first lasso fight of the game, it's actually MVP that took a decent chunk of gold there, and we'll see the lead that Fnatic had gained, 4,000, taken back from gold. Also experience, 2k down to pretty much 0 there for Fnatic. And this has given Forev his Blink Dagger, as well as MP looking for the Hand of Midas on this Wex Invoker. And they kind of walk past each other.
Yeah, they just smoke straight past them. It's a bit unfortunate. Although it's also intelligent of MVP to be so grouped up together. I think that's a deliberate plan there, recognizing that Fnatic are likely to go for another pick-off.
Maybe now they try and bait out QO, because he's shown himself flashed on the lane. Febby giving away his position. Oh, he's going to turn around with the Hex as well. There's the impetus damage coming through, but the blink forward onto Ohio catches him. The Finger of Death back onto DJ, but the Dream Coil from mid one catches onto 2, but they still finished off the bat, and now DJ is in a spot of bother as well. This amp damage is so bloody good against the Enchantress. Who cares if you can't hit 20 times? If you can hit 3 times with a damage of 20 times, then it's all good.
Yeah, it is definitely one way to approach that situation. And MVP, are they considering going for rush now? No, they're not. It's just putting up that ward. And I think MVP just read Fnatic so well there. Like, initially it looked like lucky that they dodged the smoke. I don't know if they know that they're exactly there, but they have a sense of where Fnatic will smoke to, and they group up and they're ready.
Oh, QO! Try the sneaky blink back. At least Forev will trade 1 for 1 there. The steal out is a crush for Rubik. He's hit his level 6, but Dubu wants to try and battle into this, it looks like. They've got Febby coming in as well with the Earth Spike on to 3-4-3. He's looking for DJ instead. He wants to get a stun down, and the Death Ward kills off the Rubik. DJ caught and now crushed up Forev. Oh, trying to the 10. Time to bail out, buddy. There's no way you're sticking around, but it's still Dubu. The full channel Death Ward.
And this game is making me want to play Witch Doctor. This hero is like actually so high impact in so many different ways. Like, it counters the Enchantress to the Death Ward. The damage output of Death Ward anyway is just gigantic, and all the fights that it's in, the Cask and the Voodoo Restoration just do so much work. But I want to go back quickly just to that point that the second smoke gang from Fnatic, like, the first one I feel like the Witch Doctor kept the fight alive so that MVP could reinforce. The second one, it's MVP just read it. They were ready for it. They were completely ready for it. If you had told Fnatic they're grouped as 4 sitting in their jungle, Fnatic would have said, okay fine, we're not going to actually bother smoking, they would have sit and farm. Like, it's definitely not what they expected to run into, and it's definitely why they lost out.
Yeah, you mentioned that they were all grouped up together and it's the right move to make. Is that just trying to make sure that Fnatic don't utilize this blink bat too well early on?
It's gonna die. They're gonna dive him. He's just used his spin. Oh, he doesn't have Omni Slash, they know it, and he's just used his spin.
Yeah, and with the crush, Forev will set this one up nicely. They jump in with mid one, trying to do as much damage back to Forev as they can. Now with a blink forward from the Batrider, they'll kill off the Slardar. And there's no retribution there, with a wicked 6 streak goes the way of the Enchantress, but a good Tornado and Hex will keep DJ at bay, at least for now, but the blink jump forward, mid one. Jaunting down onto Febby, but he doesn't catch MP with the Dream Coil. Flame Break will though, they've cancelled out these TPs. They'll kill off 3 here for the price of the 1 Juggernaut. Great reactions out from Fnatic. And MVP didn't know what hit them.
That's actually the ward that does that. You see this ward over here? This is like, so Net knew that they were coming, right? And I feel like if you saw MVP before they initiated, they almost hesitated. They were like, Juggernaut's just used spin, we're gonna go on him. And he starts running away as the spin's about to end, and they're like, should we still go? Okay, fine, let's go. And as I said, they're pretty much guaranteed to get the kill on him. But because he was aware, his team was also aware, and again, they react really quickly. Well, it's gonna be another initiation mid by Forev, but I think this is just, everyone goes in, everyone goes out.
Fire blinks on the Juggernaut, runs away. Mid one blinks on the Slardar, cast spells and runs away. Just a bit of, yeah, you think you can do that without any turnaround, any recourse? Well, I think again, the statement of intent there from mid one, I think. Well, 3-4-3, he's holding onto a Tornado, and that's a pretty nice spell to start these initiations off, actually.
Yep, that actually is very effective, and it's, by the way, MP's been doing really well with his Tornadoes this game. A lot of Invoker players just like, if they've got Tornado invoked, as soon as the fight starts, they just like throw it kind of anywhere they see something's happening. And I've seen him like holding onto it for a few seconds each time just to make sure that he gets like a value Tornado which hits multiple heroes, or an important one getting someone who's trying to run away.
I love cute little moments like this. Fnatic, they get some warding down over in the Radiant jungle, but MVP in the Dire jungle, and I think both teams will realise what's going on and try and go for these tier 1s. That's what's pinged out by QO. Just try and make sure there's no one hiding behind the tower. But bottom tier 1, it's already very low, and MVP, they're going to take a little bit longer here taking down the tower at top.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's possible for Fnatic to TP in and stop them though. I think most likely this is something of a trade anyway. Well, the Batrider's TP was cooling down, it's gonna be ready, so they'll all have TPs now if they want to contest, but I don't think I feel like it's a recipe for disaster if they were TPing one at a time.
Yeah, not what they're looking for, so they'll just try and force MVP to maybe TP back themselves and put some pressure on the tier 2 down at bottom. Fnatic, they've got their drums on net at long last, sitting, where is he, 5,500 net worth, he's behind the Enchantress. But Forev Slardar, he's actually leading the charge here in net worth. He's got plenty of farm, and this is like without a Midas, without anything like that. MVP, they smoke up in their own jungle just behind that tier 1 at mid, and QO caught with a Tornado. 3-4-3, the blink forward lasso's there as well, but Dubu trying to stop this with the cast back, and EMP as well. Mid one caught out with it, and they'll jump forward to the Death Ward. Mid one tries to silence them up, but the Omni Slash comes through from net. Now looking for Dubu, but on the back end it's DJ sprinting away from Forev and MP. The Finger of Death will finally secure the kill, but MP, he's got another Tornado standing in the Firefly, but he doesn't care. He'll spin one out, but Net will try and do the same back onto Dubu. The Earth Spike from Febby, not going to be enough, and Net will TP away. Or will he? Caught there with a bash and crush. And Forev secures the 5-man wipe of Fnatic as MVP get an amazing fight.
Yeah, and I actually think that it's important that Slardar is the top net worth for them. I don't think they'd have it any other way if you ask them. Like, this is the sort of the main hero to peak at this time in terms of winning these fights, and if the game is going to be defined by having these kind of fights, your Slardar's the hero you want to have farm. He's going to have a BKB soon, and once he has a BKB, it's close to impossible for Fnatic to actually win these fights.
It's getting difficult unless you get that perfect double blink initiation from Bat and Puck. But we're seeing mid one change up his build here. He's not going for the Veil or the Dagon. He'll go for the Dream Call though. Catches onto 3 and 3-4-3. What's he stolen out? It's the mana drain. Not really what he wanted. Earth Spike from Febby completely off the mark, and Ohio jumps in with a Flame Break, trying to Firefly one down, and he will get the kill. But as a jump back in from QO, kills off 3-4-3. While MP, that cold snap onto Ohio. He's trying to escape, but Forev dropping low. The tower hit is not quite going to finish him off. MP will retreat out, and Fnatic, they want to get more out of this one, but it's just the 1-for-1 trade-off, support for support. And tier 1 should get denied mid as well.
Yeah, and there's going to be a BKB soon on the PA. The Slardar's going to have it almost right now, but the PA is not far behind either. And I think that once they both have those BKBs, it's... Yeah, look, you can catch someone with Bat before their BKB, you could Rubik lift them before their BKB, you could try and burst them down, but in a fight where those two heroes get their BKBs off, Fnatic just like automatically lose the fight, I think. Even the Enchantress, who's doing really well in this game. Enchantress is so weak against BKB on Slardar and PA. Like, you can just go on her and she'll be dead in a matter of seconds. Even if just Slardar amps and PA goes on her and he can go somewhere else. So, it's the timing that Fnatic needs to be ready for, and I don't know if they're going to try to get underneath MVP's skin, kill them a bit before it happens, or if they've got a plan for once they're facing up against those BKBs, but I think the game is creeping towards a pretty big MVP advantage, even though like the net worth is pretty even still.
Well, MVP, they thought maybe someone was farming over towards the Ancients or up towards that offset camp. But it's a double smoke here. Oh no, it's an Ohio invis. That's not smoke. Batrider invis towards the front. And the rest of Fnatic smoked up behind him. MVP, they're all grouped up here, but they don't expect this Batrider to be just sitting there. They've got no reveal and no observer wards on them either. Fnatic actually just going to back themselves away and towards this Roshan. This is a risky move from them because MVP, they've been waiting a long time for this and they're very, very well positioned to contest. Net with DJ both in the pit, but Forev up on the front lines, blinks in, crushed there, down onto one. DJ's caught, and the BKB from Forev is very early with the lasso forward. The jump from the Dream calling Puck, catches three, the other side's back as well, and they killed them off! Oh my goodness, MVP, QO's somehow still alive, I don't know where he is, he jumps over to MP to the side. But Fnatic, they baited that one out nicely. And Slardar will die, MP is caught as well, and with the dust on him he can't ghost walk, and MVP... Scant, what just happened?
I think this ward happened. And yeah, look at that ping from MVP saying they could see us over there. We couldn't see them. Like I think that's how a fight like that goes down. I don't think there's like anything else to it really. And it's interesting because MVP have like a sentry ward down there, but obviously that doesn't, you know, it's even in range of the ward. But they didn't run past it for the fight. That ward was just placed by Fnatic right there on their retreat from the smoke gang.
It looked almost perfect as well, with Forev jumping in and almost getting a three-man crush, but like the blink out and then the spin meant he only got one. The rest of the team.
But that's why they're reacting so perfectly. It's because they see it coming. That's it. They never would have if they didn't have the ward.
And of course, mid one with a great counter initiation finishes off his Yule Scepter at this point, and you were talking about the moment before both PA and Slardar get their BKB. Well, Slardar had one in that team fight, but PA didn't. And you saw the raw damage output from the puck just destroying through that, but Forev looking to destroy Ohio, and it looks like with the three of them, they'll secure it.
You were no match for my powers. But then, who is?
Well, yeah, the puck's magic damage onto this puck, onto this PA. She needs that BKB so desperately.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, this is one of those games where Puck's gonna dodge the initiation. MVP have to go back, I think.
A phase shift out of the EMP as well.
So, because they have a Slaughter with amp damage, this is actually one of those games where I think that PA doesn't even mind that much rushing BKB, because the damage output, if you're just always going on people who are amped, it's as if you built a damage item first as well. So you get the best of both worlds, the BKB to protect you and you have the DPS. But right now without the BKB, it's any time that Q blinks in a fight, there's like a sort of 50% chance that he just dies immediately before he has the BKB.
Well, Kyo has it at long last. Fnatic, how are we looking on DJ? Dragonlance halfway towards his Aghanim Scepter, and that damage output from the Enchantress, even through the BKBs, is going to be absolutely insane, while Net has saved up 3,200 gold and he's going back for the Battle Fury. Phase drums Aquila, deciding that it's Battle Fury time regardless of how this game's going.
And the big pickup actually on the way now on MVP is Lion's going to be close to Blink. Fabi's very close, and this is again something that I think is important to contrast. It's maybe not talked about enough. When a team picks a support Enchantress, they usually end up losing on utility in the mid game, because your Enchantress buys Drum and Dragonlance and Aghanim Scepter, so it's not going to have a Force or Blink or any of this Glimmer Cape, none of those items, and the Rubik's not getting enough farm, so I think it actually shows up as quite a big advantage once Lion has Blink, that hey, one of our supports can actually be part of the initiation or pulling out, and your supports really aren't as mobile or versatile.
They rely heavily on the Puck and the Batrider for this. They've got lots of utility between them now with a 4-staff done for Ohio. And mid one, of course, the Yule Scepter, he's had that for a little bit. They've got some good displacement abilities about them. QO, he's not shown this BKB just yet, I don't think. And with Ohio sitting up on this high ground, MVP, they seem to know something's up. Smoked up behind their own tier 1, and Net jumped on the crush into Finger of Death. The blink forward, but mid one's there with the counter initiation, jumps back in, and Lasso's down as well. Ohio catches MP, and this Invoker is yet to cast too many spells. EMP's down, but he's going to Ghost Walk himself away to try and escape from this, but in the meantime, QO and 4F pairing up nicely to take down 2, but he walks back into the fire. Net spins him down, and with Dubu, the Death was stolen. 3-4-3 throws it back in his face, and with Fnatic on the front foot once more, MVP Phoenix, even with a BKB on the Phantom Assassin, did not get anything done.
So the funny thing is, I was talking about how easily they're going to kill the Enchantress with their BKBs, and they actually took quite long to do it, just because the Enchantress has high move speed. Like literally, because she's natural base move speed is very high, drum and phase boots, and Slaughter had used this stomp, so they had to wait for the second stomp before they could finish off the Enchantress, because she was literally just like getting out of range of their attacks, and they had to follow her around for a while. And because it takes that long, you know, like in an ideal world, they both BKB, they blink on the Enchantress, she's dead in like 1 second, maybe 2 seconds, and it took them about 6 or 7 there, which they lost the fight during that period of time.
And this has allowed Fnatic to take tier 1s, get themselves to the top of the net worth with Puck and Juggernaut. And that's the full Battle Fury done for Net now. So not only is he stacked up in stats, but he's also going to farm through and have a lot of damage about him. Now you look at the Phantom Assassin, she's so far away from her second item.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit surprised MVP went for that fight when Febby was 200 gold away from his blink, and now he's gone back to try and farm it again. Because I just think that's such a huge impact on any fight that they take. They probably thought because it's at their tier 1 and like positionally it's such an advantage for them. They have the tower, they have the vision, that they should just take it anyway. But yeah, I don't know. It's an entirely different story once you have that blink on the line. And even though Fnatic get a big fight and start to get a big gap in the net worth, I still think that the blink dagger could be a big difference maker for the next fight.
Still 90 gold off it. 4F wasn't letting him get too much farm. But DJ, Aghanims have slowed down a touch, 1100 away from that big old item, but in the meantime he just look at Net at bottom lane, he doesn't care, he's got no fear in the world. Just pushes hard into that tier 2. It's in deny range now though, so MP can potentially look at that one, but Ohio is also in position here with their haste rune and the rest of Fnatic converging down towards his bottom lane. MP just tornadoes out, denies the tower, time to run away, don't want to get caught, do not want to give away any unnecessary deaths.
And again, the warding doing a lot of work. This ward that MVP have in their own jungle, just giving a lot of information about the movements of Fnatic through their jungle, knowing when they're around. It's actually, it's fairly unusual, to be honest, for teams to place wards at this stage in the game, in the mid game, like quite deep in their own jungle. But it shows a real understanding of what often happens at this stage in games. Very often teams end up farming one another's jungles and not their own. And if you're the one that can see them and they can't see you, that's obviously going to be a big advantage.
Well, Rubik is about to lose the Death Ward, the spell that he should never be able to steal in the first place. 3-4-3. I can't believe he got that. I mean, with Dubu, you've just got to toggle on your Voodoo Restoration. 3-4-3. Yep. Somehow magically got himself his hands on the Death Ward. And it's gone now.
Maybe it's next.
Ohio. Blinks onto Forev. He can't pop his BKB for this because he's already dead. Stuck in the Firefly and right-click down by Fnatic.
I mean, is it possible that Dubu, or let's just see if there's not gonna be more trades here. It's I'm just wondering, is it possible that he thinks that it's actually worse to give away the heal?
Top tower is under attack.
The heal is like really good. It's like normally you'd think, wow, the damage output, it's an ulti.
Level 4 heal. Yeah, maybe.
I mean, it is Lord Dubu. This is the guy like gained 4,000 MMR in like a year, so he's I don't know. I think it's possible that it's something that he thought about. It's also possible that you're right and he just, you know, was a bit slacking in his awareness.
4 staff. MP trying to shove Net into the base and into battle. Fnatic just do a bit of chip damage here and bail themselves away. Tornado. Oh, not going to catch onto mid one. Not long enough range. But of course, we're looking at this Invoker. We've seen his early game strength, his mid game strength. But of course, once he gets that Aghanim Scepter, he's going to have his late game strength as well. QO got the BKB off here. Not sure if he can turn and fight, but he can definitely turn and run his tail between his legs. Getting the hell out of there while the rest of his team trying to get in onto this position, but Fnatic are already gone.
Q is actually now closing in on a Battle Fury, so making quite a good recovery, and I think that if this game goes very late, it's probably very favorable for MVP. So Fnatic, who have a lead, there's still some pressure on them to either like set up on the map to extend their lead indefinitely, or to take some more objectives. I mean, like at very least, I'd expect them to pick up like maybe a gem quite soon and want to just take complete map control, get rid of all the enemy vision.
Could be a good idea. 4 staff being built up by Forev. The top lane is being pushed in. And MVP, they're kind of standing on top of this high ground, trying to scope out the situation whether Roshan is being taken here. But Net is farming an ancient stack, and MVP, they're not doing anything valuable with their time. Well, the troll walking himself across, he'll die as he walks up the steps. Has a heart attack, he's not fit enough. Can't even go up. How many steps are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6. Oh, there's a number of steps. Poor little troll. In his old age, just collapses.
Unfortunately for Fnatic, the vision that they have up right now is very specific. So they've got that clifford outside rush. That helps them if MVP push bot lane, which they might now. And then they've got the 2 wards on the complete opposite side of the map. So right now, most of the time, if MVP aren't showing on lane creeps, Fnatic just can't see any of them. Like, it constantly looks like all of MVP's heroes are missing. Now, it's a similar story for MVP. They can't see Fnatic, but MVP are sort of inclined to group up anyway, because they're behind. Because they need to be together in case Fnatic smoke onto them. So, I think it sort of evens it out a bit, just because the vision situation is maybe not how either team would like it to be right now.
Fnatic, they're all 5-man. Concaved around this tier 1. Looks like MVP will be the first ones to dodge, playing chicken against Fnatic. QO will TP mid to try and farm through this lane and keep it shoved out a little bit. The rest of his team. Okay, maybe they don't. QO just TP's there, the rest of his team follows him and wanders him across the map anyway. They group up as 5 again. Is that Battle Fury? There's a QO Battle Fury, so now you've got the damage output from the Phantom Assassin as well as that BKB.
I mean, this is a game where Kyo struggled quite a bit, but he's neck and neck, he's just behind Net. I suppose Net also struggled a bit at the beginning, so it makes for an interesting trade-off that they both end up roundabout. In fact, all the net worths, if you look at all the pairs of heroes at the top, it's so close actually, one to the next. The big difference is just DJs and Enchantress, which is substantially more farmed than any other supports in the enemy team. That's where the entire net worth leads from.
Just a little bit, yeah. I mean, 7,500 lead, and it's like a 6k difference between Enchantress and the Lion. That's definitely where a massive chunk of it comes from. As well as experience here for Fnatic in the lead, and the Blink Dagger for Juggernaut. It's going to indicate he wants to get in onto a target, maybe jump past the Slardar and onto someone on the back lines. There's the Blink onto MP. Not wanting to use the Omni Slash just yet, and the 4-staff from MP will get himself a little bit further away. Tries to get himself away from the spin as well, but it's not going to be fast enough. Over on the side, QO's chasing down the puck, but impetus damage from DJ. Febby shredded, and now the Finger of Death back, and QO's gone. 3-4-3. Where the frick did he get the Finger of Death from? Don't just say Lion.
Yeah, boy, he did get it from Lion, but I think, I mean, I'd have to guess, if you look at the HP, I'd have to guess there was a finger that got dodged by Puck's phase shift, and then got stolen.
Well, he stole it regardless. And now MVP. This is a lane of racks.
I think that was an insane move by MVP. That was like, I think Invoker gets caught there. To me, the natural move is, okay, he's dead. Maybe he can miraculously save himself, but everyone else ran away. And they make this decision that, you know, if there's someone on the other side of the fight, we can catch them out. It was the Puck they were going on. Maybe we'll kill Puck, we'll get the trade for the Invoker, but the Invoker's going to die so quickly, the fights are so close to each other, and the Invoker's so important to them in terms of being able to fight. The Puck is so difficult to kill. I don't know. I feel like MVP make an impulsive call there, and it's probably the wrong one in that case. They probably need to just cut their losses, let the Invoker die, and they're very unlikely to lose the racks if they still have 4 people alive off the
Well, Sunstrike will scout out Roshan and see if they're in there, but Net wandered in, didn't start it off. MVP. As far as Slardar, you know, he was top of the net worth for quite some time, falling back little by little. But he's got all the items he kind of needs. Didn't go for the Hand of Midas, so progression into further items is always difficult as a Slardar. If you're not getting kills, it's just hard to farm naturally. As the little fish man. While QO, his farm should ramp up significantly from here since he got the Battle Fury. Of course, he got it and then he fought and didn't really work out. But I'm looking at mid one as the prime hero here for his next item. With that ultimate orb, it looks like it's going to be a Hex. Forev, what has happened there? Forced away, still Blink. Spun down. With MP caught in the reveal, he just sliced into oblivion.
MVP just look impatient. Fnatic look much more composed than them in most of the game, actually, even from the lane stage. I feel like MVP have been the team that's had to react most of the time. They've been the team that's made some more impulsive and questionable moves, and it's probably the difference between the two teams. The Fnatic are just like composed, on the same page, following a plan, ready to coordinate their moves, whereas MVP seem to be sort of spotting someone and just someone shouts go and they go.
Dire's bottom tower is under
It
attack.
does kind of feel that way. It's very desperate, and with Roshan going the way of Fnatic here and probably giving the Aegis over to Net. Juggernaut is an absolute monster. Hex is completed here for mid one and he jumps forward. QO BKBs. Lasso is not available for another 7 seconds, so they can't catch him. But mid one very nearly had the Hex there onto him. And QO overstepping his bounds just a touch.
And that's why he's gone for the Hex as well, because of these BKBs. They recognize that even though they're pretty far ahead at this point, the power of the BKBs is there. There's like Enchantress and Jag can deal damage through BKB and Bat can cost, but the pack itself, like if you were to go Dagon, which would be his normal build, it's just like playing even more into the I do nothing versus BKB story. Whereas with the Hex, you can actually counteract the BKB and just get them Hex before the BKB and make as if the item does nothing.
There's a basher for QO, but that's a buyout, isn't it? No buybacks here for the Radiant, while Juggernaut and Enchantress have them over on the Dire. MVP, they grouped up on this Dire side of the river, but they're not going to find anyone. This Observer up on the high ground spots out nothing. They want to push top lane, but they have to come back and defend their racks because Net is up on the front line just swiping down creep waves. And MVP, they're not set up for this. There's no glyph, there's no heroes here. They start TPing now, but they're already up on the high ground. They've breached the tier 3. Tornado from MP will catch on to the Juggernaut, but it doesn't do anything.
Well, Fnatic they look like they might be happy just getting everyone to come back. And I mean, why not actually? In this position, if you have the enemy team hold up in their base, you can be guaranteed that you outfarm them. Like if you just don't let them like cross this line and just farm around the entire map, obviously you're getting much more value than they are. So often it's the sensible decision for a team. Once the enemy team comes back, shows that they're all there defending the high ground. The one thing that I mentioned earlier, which usually goes with this, which they haven't. Have they done? Okay, no, they have. Sorry, I completely missed that Ohio does have a gem. He's probably had it for a while too. I was expecting to see it on 343 for some reason.
It's usually him, but when the Batrider can like Firefly and maneuver himself around, having Ohio with that gem is incredibly useful.
I suppose it's just he hasn't gone, because MVP have those two wards up, but they're like deep in their Fnatic jungle where Ohio just hasn't been for a long time. And he doesn't need, I mean, it doesn't actually matter to them if MVP can see that region of the map.
Oh, MP. Not going to get caught, but Dubu will be. Glimmer Cape, but no TP. And mid one. I'll be able to chase this one down, and Dubu just gets spun out. There's no chance of escape. Cass nearly bounces back onto Juggernaut, but with one final swipe of his sword.
You might wish to retract your last move.
The 4 fangs of Swordbreaker. And that will find himself a nice kill there, and up at top, just clearing out these waves. MVP, they're bunkered down in their base, and they have to high ground defend at this point.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
That's a nice little smoke placement there from Fnatic, but they get given away. The spell's out from Puck. I'm pretty sure MVP should notice this and know that the smoke is there. Forever will just keep throwing out these amp damages onto net. Romancer gets himself away from it. As Febby blinks back, but now he's dragged in with the lasso from Ohio, catching the Lion, buys back immediately. Febby wants to get into the midst of this fight once more. Difficult initiation, and that's a good stun from Forever after forcing in, and Febby chaining it up with another Earth Spike. Meech's dropped, definitely glasses there, but Net is still alive, spins himself away, and the healing ward keeps him alive. Still has the Aegis Immortal, and that's a lot of spells burnt out by MVP with a 3-man Dream Coil. Hello there, jump in, mid one catches them all, and Ohio Sticky Napalm stacks up with the Omni Slash onto QO alone. The final swipe from this Juggernaut will seal the deal. A buyback from QO. It's ceremonial only. Don't know if he'll be able to do anything at all because this is just Fnatic running rampant over MVP Phoenix at this point. 20-33. Mid one, oh maybe not. QO, hello, catches out the puck. With a lucky bash on the first hit, and again with the crits coming through. QO, this buyback's doing a hell of a lot.
This is there's no TP on Net, but I don't know if they know where he is. Because they could probably kill him twice if they found him. This is kind of what they have to do. I mean, this is classic QO. That's probably what he'd do anyway. But I think the position was desperate enough that you have to just go in as PA and hope that you get lucky. Like, get a lot of bashes or crits, and it works out there.
It just kind of felt that with everyone alive from Fnatic that if QO buys back and goes in, he's not going to get anything done.
Yeah, I mean, I think the odds were against him, but it was like a sort of like, this is just a big risk, and it's one that we need to take because we're not going to get a better opportunity. And the risk is only going to get bigger.
They kept their racks alive. They brought back the Lion and, Lion and PA. Well, that gives MVP some hope. And they're pushing aggressively.
They're trying to use the momentum, yeah. Puck's still dead for a few seconds, and if they could get some more kills, just chain off those kills, would be really good for them. Aegis has just run out, that's all, they probably have that timing.
This is the perfect moment, but the Sticky Napalm, Ohio spots them up on the high ground. And now he's going to Firefly over to give them vision. The Blink Lasso onto MP, drags him back into the rest of his team. And MP is caught all alone. 2 hits is all Net needs to secure the kill of the Invoker. Now they're jumping forward as well. Omni Slash down onto an illusion there, it looks like. But Duba with QO, Sticky Napalmed up, and Flame breaks back. QO still holds on to this BKB though, Forever. The BKB from QO, they want to try and fight this, they have to try and fight this. Net, swipe down, bashed up, but down goes Forever. QO still alive, jumps himself forward into the DJ, but there's 3-4-3. The Hex back from mid one, onto the Phantom Assassin. Impetus shots coming flying out as well, but QO is still alive. Looking for the blink, looking for the cleaves, looking for the crits and the hits, and the Death Ward drops down DJ. QO looks for 3-4-3 now, and he's killing them off. Alacrity on this Phantom Assassin is doing such great work for MVP.
Yeah. I mean, after the Juggernaut dies, you need to be scared of this PA because, like, let's not forget that she has 50% evasion. Literally half of your attacks are missing her, and Enchantress does not have an MKB, so it's a very difficult hero for them to deal with after the Juggernaut dies. Juggernaut, by the way, the Omni Slash was on QO, but he blinks out of it quite quickly, so it just didn't follow him because it's much too high range blink. And I think the fact that that gets wasted is maybe quite significant, because then when the Juggernaut blinks in, he has to kind of just like face up and fights with right clicks, and that's always going to put him in harm's way. Takes the risk, ends up dying, and that allows for the PA to flourish. I still think Ohio's had a near to perfect game. At the start of the fight, that pick off really good, and he's positioned himself bot lane to do the same right now.
With the Veil, they've got the damage, and the Hex as well doesn't allow QO to BKB. They've killed off the Phantom Assassin. 100 seconds without your QO PA, without your big raw damage output, but MVP, they want to try and get retribution for this. The blink back from Ohio gets himself away.
Ohio completely read QO there. Like, he was hiding in the spot QO came to farm before he even got there.
That's a forward move from Febby. Ohio's not going to die to that, but Febby will. Glimmer Cape, not going to save you from the impetus shots and Forever. No! Walks into death. The BKB allows him to stand for a little bit longer with a flame break back. You also have to cancel the Death Ward. Maybe Forever. Not a chance. MVP. I wanted to get something, but I lost everything.
Yeah, I don't know if, like, the critical reading of that is that they underestimate the importance of their PA. That the PA has actually been the key playmaker in all of the recent fights that they've done okay in. And the alternative is that they just, you know, they appreciate exactly how important the PA is and recognize that if they sit in their base, hold up, Fnatic's just gonna come rax them. They need to like take the initiative and try to get something done. So, you know, I think depending on your perspective, you can see it either of those two ways.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Chances are the fight's not gonna go much better if they just sit at their base anyway.
Radiant's top tower.
And GG's called. Forever buys back and realizes instantly that he has got nothing to do here while Febby demolished his own base. And Fnatic, they take game number 1. Are we going to see a continuation of the Fnatic defeating MVP in the grand finals of qualifiers? Well, it is a best of 5 after all, so we'll only know in a little bit. Short break.
Just before we go to break, I just want to say the last time that Kuro was on the PA for MVP